There are several thousand varieties of apple throughout the world. More than a dozen of these varieties are grown in South Tyrol. The region offers ideal conditions for growing apples. In the north, the Alps act as a barrier, fending off the wind and cold, whereas the landscape opens up in the south. This is where alpine and Mediterranean influences meet. Cool nights and warm days ensure a slow and outstandingly good growth of fruit and vegetables. These differences in temperature cause a completely natural and harmonic balance of sweet and slightly acidic flavors. Our region is blessed with around 300 days of sunshine, which is responsible for the sweetness of the produce we grow. Thus, every apple finds the right conditions beneficial to its growth. The apple fields are usually located in areas ranging from 200 meters to 1,000 meters in altitude. The total surface covered by apple fields is 18,400 hectares, equivalent to the area of 25,000 football fields. This makes South Tyrol the largest apple field in Europe. Cultivation areas reach from Salorno in the south, along the Val d'Adige Valley, in the Venosta Valley, up to the high plateau above Bolzano and as far as the Isarco Valley. More than 7,000 families grow apples, and on average, they only have 2.5 hectares of land each. Growing apples has become manual work, which is carried out with precision and passion, although some fields are located in remote places and are not easily accessible. Farmers work hard all year round. In winter, they prune excess shoot growth and cut the trees to a Christmas tree-like structure. They look after the sensitive apple blossoms during spring, ensuring bees can pollinate them. Temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius can lead to frost and freeze damage to the flowers and buds, resulting in a drop in quality and quantity of the harvest. Farmers implement frost protection to fight this problem with overhead irrigation, creating an artificial shower covering the trees in a layer of ice. The formation of ice generates heat, which protects the buds and therefore the harvest. During the summer, excess fruit is picked by hand. The farmers mow the grass and regularly water the area. They also have to observe the distribution of pests and beneficial insects and always keep an eye on the growth of the fruit. About 96% of South Tyrolean apples are grown following the guidelines of integrated fruit production. This means that the use of pesticides is kept to a minimum. They are only to be used in justified cases, such as the economical threshold of damage. Farmers fight pests using natural means. Birds, hedgehogs, ladybirds, and other natural enemies of pests are valuable allies. As far back as the 1980s, South Tyrol started producing organic apples. Today, 4 to 5% of the total harvest is organic and covers 40% of European demand. South Tyrol is the largest supplier of organic apples in Europe. As summer turns to autumn, apples are carefully picked by hand. Before this step, farmers assess their maturity. The apple variety, as well as the surrounding vegetation, are considered. They are only picked according to the dates listed in a maturity calendar for every apple variety. This way, apples are harvested when they're at their most tasty and then stored. In fact, only a timely harvested apple can satisfy high expectations in taste and look. The South Tyrolean apple harvest yields about 950 tons of apples a year. This means that 1 in 10 apples comes from South Tyrol. This small region is extremely proud of these figures. Apples are stored using the controlled atmosphere method. The apples are put into a deep winter sleep in a space which barely registers 0 degrees Celsius and with low oxygen levels, which can last up to a year. The apples are then sorted according to size, colour and weight, checked for damage, and finally packaged. The average apple farm in South Tyrol is small in structure. This means that cooperatives are a key player when it comes to growing apples. A number of important organisations are tasked with selling apples within Europe and to the rest of the world. Around half of the apples harvested are sold in South Tyrol and other Italian regions. The largest export market is Germany, with a 20% share, followed by Spain, Scandinavia, Arab countries, and Eastern Europe. A comprehensive quality control system allows the journey of the apple to be retraced, from its shelf on the market all the way back to its farm. Strict adherence to all hygiene and food safety guidelines is guaranteed at all times. Since 2005, 13 South Tyrolean apple varieties were included in the Protected Geographical Location Scheme implemented by the European Union for their status as regional specialities. The end consumer can rest assured that the apples come from one of the over 7,000 family-run South Tyrolean apple farms. They were produced following the core principles of integrated or organic production and have passed countless quality controls carried out by independent bodies and associations. This way, everyone can enjoy fresh, healthy and juicy apples. South Tyrolean apples are especially well known for one trait: the incomparable taste that makes them unique in the world.